So after almost one season of using this rod, I've really enjoyed it. Um, it's light. It's light enough to land croakers. I know it's crazy. They're really small fish here in North Carolina, but um, the rod's very sensitive, so it can land very small fish. But at the same time, this is the second end, or the first end, or the second, however you want to look at it. And if you zoom up here, the second half where it breaks down, I want to show you that it's a little bit thicker than a number 2 pencil, but it's extremely light and sensitive at the top. The bottom piece has served me well for casting. You can really, really launch this thing, and it's extremely light also. I don't know how light this thing is, but I wish you could see the numbers on Major Craft's page, but it's extremely light, and you can launch it at distance. The beautiful thing about this rod that I have enjoyed is to be able to create a bend behind you, almost like a C shape when you're casting. The engineers really knew what they were doing here. Not only when you cast, you get that beautiful bend behind you, but you're launching it with confidence. The reason being is the rod's predictable. You feel that load, whether you want to do a spinning cast or just a slow back cast, and then the lure starts to feel, or you start to feel the lure, and you start to feel that tip bend behind you, and then you know it's time to put some power and speed. I'm a power caster. I love power casting. That's what I do. I get a joy out of it. So when you're hitting that kind of range, 150 to 200 yards with 40 to 45 grams, it's pretty neat when you have a very, very light package that weighs ounces. Paired up with the Sustain 15-pound Power Pro Super Slick, it really it adds a whole new meaning to casting and fishing, and it's a joy. I upgraded the Rio handle. This power handle really helps out when you catch a fish or just reeling in general. Now the rod tip is really nice when you're reeling in a lure. It has a beautiful bend shape to it in the middle as you're reeling and bending and presenting a different technique. So the presentation it gives is quite interesting also, and very effective. The 5G wraps means that they wrapped it 5 different ways. I thought it was going to be heavier, but it's a joy. It's a joy. I get hypnotized, and I could stand for hours just casting this thing. Sometimes my wife has to hit me over the head with something to get my attention. If you're like me and you enjoy the launching the lure as far as you possibly can without sacrificing weight and having to add more weights, and you want to stick in that 40 to 45 gram, max 50 gram, but it does really well with 40 grams. If you can find like lures with 45 grams, that would be the sweet spot for this rod. Cons, I can't find any cons about this rod. It's comfortable, especially when you're jigging that lure. It's really comfortable. You feel everything that's going on from the slightest hit to the bottom of the structure in the sand. If you're working a trough, if the current pulls the lure, the tip moves with the line, and you get a sense of security with this rod because you can feel everything on the bottom. I've used geolumises in lakes and ponds, and this reminds me of, to compare it, a really nice GLX, um, but not the price that you would pay, because these rods are right around $230, $250. They have the latest technology, and what I like about Major Craft, you're not fighting the equipment, you're fighting the fish. So using really light equipment allows you to enjoy fishing a lot more. So thank you to Major Craft for making this rod. And if you guys are interested in finding this rod, you can look on Platts Fishing. You can just Google it. It's a Japanese website. They send me everything I need for my fishing gear, my lures, and I'm happy with them. Thank you for watching.